G'day everybody, Brian here, quantlabsnet.com. So we're going to take a look at our first inside peek of the new MotoWave 7 that came out, I believe, in the last couple of weeks. Hopefully you've watched my latest video on the situation where I'm now using Rithmic data. You have to choose a platform if you go with whatever introducing broker, in my case EdgeClear. For the API, I would have paid an extra $100 US for the Rithmic API connection on top of the data fee as well, which is another $40 a month in US. So I just went with the data only. Just wanted to show you what I'm seeing in the overall futures and options. Here is the new screen, I guess you could call it. Nothing's really changed a whole lot. There's a lot more bells and whistles, but overall the platform has pretty well stayed the same. You can see here we've got the different the DOM or the DOM. We have the different watch list here. And so on and so forth. But what I want to show you here is something I created. I've shown this. If you go into my MotoWave playlist, it's gone back as far back as 6 years. I can't believe that. But nonetheless, this is the watch list I've created. I've got a scanning feature now, which really hasn't changed a whole lot. So if you go into scanning here, so I've put up a scan here. There's two different scans, one for, I'll show you what I've got here. So right here, I've done 100 scan for 100, about over 200 results. Now this is only using Rithmic data for CME related data. So I'm using, I'll show you what I do here. So what I have here is there's different watch lists that are part of the default setting for Rithmic. So here we got crypto, currencies, energy, Eurex, all that. And then I add those to the instruments list so you could get them right here. So I've all added them. There's a couple of thousand in total when you add in the options chains for each of the futures contracts. Here's where it gets very interesting. So it looks like MotoWave has radically improved here. So here you can choose your bar size, your time frame. Right here, you got 2 hour, 1 day, and this is the really interesting one, 100 milliseconds. Okay, that's 1/10 of a second. So you can scan that if you want. It takes a while. And right now I've set it at daily. Okay, and you can see here. And then the criteria in my case is that I'm using for my general, there's different types that you can set. It could be an Elliott Wave, could be Fibonacci. In my case, I'm using Fibonacci, and you can use your own custom studies as well. So I might do that down the line. But right now, we're using all of the available patterns in Fibonacci. What we're doing here is we just go start, okay, and then you get a rating or score of excellent, very good, and fair. So usually what I used to do using MotoWave a few years ago is I'd focus only on the excellent setting. So here, if you look at the different settings here, you have your different overlay of the different patterns of Fibonacci. And some of these are natural gas, currencies. If I show you, so FGB, so if I just do FGB futures, this one would be, I think this one's a euro. There's some agriculture scanning as well. Yeah, so this is a euro FX. So there's a bunch here under excellent. Usually I would just focus on those for now. My account size is very small. It's 1,500, so really from my trading perspective, I can only trade micro. I could do a mini, but you would have to have recommended from EdgeClear 5,000 US for minis if you want to trade those. So right now I'm just going small potatoes with the micros. So here, as I said, we've got the excellent on these different symbols. It's pretty interesting as you dig into it. Also, I just wanted to show you the scanning here of how to look for potential really good opportunities here. On the other hand, a lot of people like to use the, let me just create another scan here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create another scan. I'm going to call it, here's the different types. Oh, sorry. So the harmonic is Fibonacci, really, the different type. Here I'll use an Elliott wave, and I'll just call it Elliott. Okay, and then I will go into all my watch lists, as I said before. You just set it up like this. Just for everything, you know, you might want to focus only on financials or grain or indices only. I thought it's up to you. I'm just kind of open to whatever's trending, I guess. The other big one, as I said, is the bar size. So here I'm going to do a 1 day for the Elliott wave just to see what comes back. And what I have to also tell you is the more lower time frame, like a millisecond, 100 milliseconds, 5 minute, whatnot, or even an hour. It's going to take longer than a day because there's less data to work with for a daily. So it's a faster scan. So here I'm just using wave 2, I guess. I'm not a big person who knows a lot about Elliott wave, but I guess that's the early momentum for Elliott waves with the 5 different waves. So I just go start, and you can see how fast it is. So it's going through 96 instruments right now. Let's see what it comes up with. So as I said before, so there's only 4 that came up. So there's 17 results. So let's see. You want to work on the excellent. So here we only have 2 using Elliott wave with the early detection, I guess. Again, I'm no expert on that. So if you want to know a symbol, probably the easiest. There's different ways to do it. So my case is CME 6C. Yeah, 6C Z5. So this is all for the beginners. So right here, so this is 6Z5. Okay. Okay, that should work here. That's Canadian dollar. So M6B, I think that's the micro. So M6B, that must be British, I believe. Yeah, micro British in US dollar. Okay, so what's going on in the markets right now? Powell just did his speech, or in process, so interesting thing going on here. So Powell says downside risk to employment appears to have risen. Obviously not a good sign, so the market's looking pretty okay, still fairly strong. So if you go through here on the Yahoo Finance, you can see here you have the different Euro indices and Forex with Asia. That's all not current. Crypto's getting killed. And we have our interest rates, so they're not doing a whole lot there. This is where most of the action will be, is in the currency. So also that's in the commodities. So you have gold up, silver, all down except gold. And then you go into the currencies. So here, you can see here the dollar, Canadian dollar's up a little bit. But from what I'm seeing on the daily, let's see here if it loads up. I could use the pattern. So if I do a 5-day, yeah, so the Canadian dollar's looking kind of okay, I guess. Over 5 day, 1 day not so good, but this is the Elliott wave here, as I said. Can be relied on, I don't know. And then we have the British pound as well. See how that one's doing for the British pound on the currency front. I'm just used to working with Yahoo Finance for now. So the Canadian dollar is up a little bit, but just wanted to show you generally how to use this. Also, for those that are brand spanking new for who I am, you can join my email list and get yourself a free C++ book on ebook on C++ and HFT is what. So just go under Learn here, or right from the main page. We don't sell any information or release it to anybody. Also, if you want to try out our membership for the quant analytics, you can do that as well. It's free, and just cancel before your 7th day before the first charge. Other than that, thanks for watching. Hopefully this will help you out on the first video in years. First on-screen video with MotoWave as well. All right, so thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye-bye.